and what is up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Owen DeBrinker, and today I'm going to review the latest action film, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. This is a spin-off and reboot, I would say, to the G.I. Joe franchise, and this movie stars Henry Golding. A lone fighter known as Snake Eyes, played by Henry Golding, has been recruited and joined by a Japanese ninja clan recruited by Storm Shadow to basically train to become this warrior known as Snake Eyes. Now, when it comes to the G.I. Joe merchandise per se, I'm not the hugest fan. I did like the action figures as a kid, but it's not something I'm like, oh, it's spectacular or anything. I just find them cool. And you guys are wondering why I got these two movies right there. I'm sorry, I enjoy those movies. They're my two biggest guilty pleasures. They're bad movies, don't get me wrong, but I did enjoy those films for what they are. So when it comes to this new movie, Snake Eyes, I was honestly very skeptical, and I'm very mixed about it. The thing I'm mostly skeptical about this film is the director of this film. He directed R.I.P.D., the Divergent movies, and those movies really do suck. And the writer and the story behind this movie is by the guy who directed The Unholy this year, and that movie sucks balls. It's probably one of the worst horror films I've seen all year. But there are also some hope about this movie, because Henry Golding is in it, and I think Henry Golding is a good actor, and it's really cool now to see him as an action star. You know, he's been in all romantic comedy films and The Gentleman, which he was really good in that movie. So it's really cool that he gets to be in this action superhero comic book type role. I think it's really cool. It's cool to try something new. And also, this is a new G.I. Joe film that has nothing to do with the G.I. Joe franchise. This is a softcore reboot to the G.I. Joe franchise. So this movie can fix a lot of problems that those movies have. So I was very mixed by this movie, but I walked into this movie with an open mind, getting to see at least a fun ninja movie, or a fun action movie at least. And I walked out of this movie very disappointed. If you're huge fans of G.I. Joe movies, you're going to be very disappointed by this movie. I find this movie pretty bad, actually. Now, there are some saving graces with Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, don't get me wrong. I think Henry Golding in this film is the saving grace of this movie. I think he was really good in this film. It's not his best role, but I think his acting in this film was definitely the best out of all of them. He literally tries throughout the whole movie, and you get his motivations at parts, but there are parts in this movie where I'm like, okay, Snake Eyes is becoming a little bit unlikable. But Henry Golding in this film does a really good performance in this film, and I think he should try roles like this. I think he should try a different role like this. I think he will do a great job, because this movie shows that he can be a great actor, even though he's in a bad movie. And I'm not too familiar with the actors in this movie, so my apologies, I'm just naming the characters in the film. But the guy who plays Storm Shadow in this film was also pretty good in the film. I think the chemistry between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow in this film was definitely the best part about this movie. They actually have a pretty good chemistry in this film. And the movie looks nice, like the look of Tokyo, the look of the Japanese clan area. It looks nice to see. It looks really good to see. Like, it's a good looking movie. But that is it, guys, because this movie was really bad, especially when it comes to the action scenes of this movie. If you guys are huge fans of, like, shaky cam action scenes, you're gonna love the hell out of this movie. Me, I'm not a fan of shaky cam action at all. This movie has a lot of shaky cam action scenes, and honestly, I don't understand why they do it. A lot of people can say it's just adding the realism to the film. Why? I don't get that. We don't see what the hell is going on. There are a lot of moments in Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins where I'm just like, who is fighting who? It's like someone dropped the camera and they picked it up and they're struggling to hold it properly and like getting into the position. That's what it felt like. It felt so shaky that you don't see what the hell is going on. And the story of this film, honestly, was just boring as hell. This movie just goes from a cliche story about, oh, you're this legend, you are recruited to this Japanese clan to train to become a badass. When have we seen that before? And this movie was so cliched that this movie became so boring. Like, the action is there, but there's nothing new or spectacular about it. It's just the exact similar story that we've seen so many times before. And if you guys are hardcore G.I. Joe fans and you're really excited to see Snake Eyes in the suit in the movie that's shown in the posters and the trailers, I'm sorry guys, for G.I. Joe fans you're going to be very disappointed because the suit is barely in this film. It's only at the end of this film. I'm not kidding, there's not even a scene where he wears the suit in action. Not even in the final battle at least. No, he wears it at the end of this film. I'm spoiling it to you guys so you guys don't get disappointed like I do. Because I was very disappointed. I want to see him in the suit, but he's barely wearing a suit in this movie. That brings to the point why they showed that in the posters if it's only in one scene of this film. It's very disappointing, and the story, the whole aspect of this film, it could have been so much better than it actually is. Like, a story about someone becoming a ninja could have been badass. It could have been a cool story to watch, but somehow Snake Eyes made that boring as shit, and it made me want to leave the theater a couple of times. I'm not even kidding. And also, there are characters in this film that I'm just thinking, there's no point for them being in this film. Especially Samara Weaving as Scarlet in this film. She's barely in this movie. She's in the middle of the movie and the ending of the movie. And the reason why she is in this movie, it's probably because, like, it's reminding us that it's a G.I. Joe movie, not a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movie. That's basically why she's in this film. And, like, the villains of the film, honestly, are just forgettable. I wouldn't remember these villains in an hour mark in this movie. But like I said before, the saving grace of this movie is Henry Golding. I think Henry Golding was great in this film, and I'm glad he's in this film. If he wasn't in this film would have been my #1 worst film of the year. It definitely will be on my list somewhere, because guys, overall, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins was a huge letdown for me. This movie could have been so much better than it actually is. A story about a legend becoming this ninja. It would have been an awesome story, but somehow Snake Eyes made this movie boring. The action scenes weren't that great. It's all shaky cam action. It made me dizzy a couple times. The acting was just kind of bland at parts, except for Henry Golding and the guy who played Storm Shadow. I think they were good in the film. But honestly, if this film was by a different director, this film could have been so much better. I think the direction of this film wasn't that great, and honestly, this turns out to be one of the worst action and comic book films that I've seen this entire year. I'm going to give Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins a D+. So guys, that is my review of Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. Do you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay? And who is your favorite G.I. Joe character? Let me know that in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below: Facebook, Status, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. And have a nice day.